It's another repair video. Today we're going to be doing these Dodge Cummins controllers. This common failure point on the Dodge controllers. This style is from 03 to 08, 09 area, something like that. This 90% of the time, this is what fails on these computers. This is what's wrong. And once you see how easy this is to repair, I'm sure everybody will do it at home. First thing is to get these apart. I'm going to make a separate video how to get them apart because it's kind of a pain in the ass to get them apart, and you could easily damage them by trying to open them yourself. So I'll post another video on opening them. But on these, and just so you know, once you open these and you bend these things open, you have a total of 3 times to open it and closing it before they break. This is just a unit I use for test. And you see I have some aluminum tape on the back holding it together. But just remember that. You open this and close it 2 to 3 times, and this aluminum's going to break and it's going to be done. You're not going to be able to use it unless you tape it up. And then also you'll start having to jump wires in here like this because it also breaks the traces that jump across to the back side of the board. What fails on these computers is a diode. Let me zoom in for you. Somewhere. Anyways, this diode, this is the old one that was on here. Sits in this position right here. Here's a new one, that way you can see what it looks like. That's the diode right here. Right here's the diode. It's a 27 volt Zener diode that fails. What happens, it shorts out, and when it shorts out, you get a positive to negative short, and it burns this trace right here. It burns a hole right through it. So you lose connection to this positive coming in these capacitors in this diode. Diode is for overvoltage protection, and also if somebody hooks up the battery cables backwards, it automatically is going to short this out and destroy it. So that's what needs replaced. This piece here, if you don't have one, you need to get your vehicle back on the road, you can actually just remove this diode and leave it out. But once you do that, you no longer have overvoltage protection, or if somebody hooks it up backwards, it's going to destroy the computer. So, but if you are in a bind, remove this diode and just leave it out until you can order one. But you got to think too, you open this thing closed and open it again, it's probably going to break the aluminum, and you'll have to tape it and probably destroy the computer. So you don't want to open this no more times than what you really need to. To fix this trace that's burnt across right here, what you're going to do is, I usually take a piece of wire, get this helping hand here that I use, soldering iron on here, take a piece of wire and strip some of the insulation off of it. And you want to take your soldering iron and put a heavy coat of solder on this wire that you're going to use for the repair. Coat it really well. Then on the board itself, after you got it cleaned up, dab some soldering paste across there. You're going to have to hold it on here for a little bit to really get good heat on it, because the heat transfers through the board. Sorry, you can't see it there. The heat transfers through this board and the aluminum, and it cools the solder off really fast. So you don't want to put a large amount of solder on, just enough to where you go to solder your wire on, it's going to hold. So you want to take this little jumper you made after it's coated with solder, cut off just enough of it that you need to make your jumper. And take and grab it with a pair of and then since it's already coated there, just put your soldering iron down on top of it and let it heat up. Yeah, see, since it's the board isn't hot, let's preheat this board so we're not gonna have that issue anymore. Take and heat this board up around here. Soldering iron is just too tough because every time you try and heat it up, it just transfers right through the aluminum and cools it right off. The board nice and hot in there. Solder paste it. So let it sit on there and heat up. Make sure you make sure you don't have any cold joints in there. Just pull it away. There we go. Now it's flowing good across there. And that's repaired. Like I said, you can replace the diode. Order the same one. They're easy to find online. It'll have a 27C on it, which is a 27 volt Zener diode. But like I said, if you're in a bind, need your vehicle running, remove this. If you don't have a soldering iron to remove it, what you can actually do on here is take a pair of side cuts and cut this leg off the end right here. You take and just snip that end to where it doesn't have contact through the diode itself. That'll get you running and back on the road. So like I said, I'll make a video on how to open these things up because it's kind of tough opening them. Just remember, like I said, you only got about 2 to 3 times before that aluminum's going to break on you. So that's the video. I'll try and get some more up here soon for you guys. But I figured this would be a popular one because most places charge like $800–900 for one of these supposedly rebuilt computers, but it's not rebuilt, it's just repaired. Nobody rebuilds them. There's no such thing as a rebuilt automotive computer. They test it, go in and just repair what's wrong with it. So watch more videos. I'll get some more up as soon as I can.